Interested people watch obsessed people change the world. I love that quote. And when I look at you, I see someone who's obsessed in your field.
Well, our next guests are causing a fitness frenzy. Sydney-based entrepreneurs Jade Spooner and Amal Kim lost a combined 50 kilos in weight between them.
I know that you and Amal achieved Forbes 30 under 30.
Overall, I think loneliness was the common denominator in that period of time and those feelings. I know that there's a life that is meant to be lived, and I'm not living it. I'm becoming me and not Jade from Equalution, which was a big discovery process for myself. I think it's just so important to wake up and love what you do.
So the people listening to or watching this might be getting this as a short few minute segment. That's like a trailer to why they should see this. Or it might be like the perfect conclusion to the great chat that we've had. And it's 5 questions. They're the same 5 questions for every guest. They're relatively rapid fire. I probably draw them out a little bit. But I want to go through them with you. So the first is, if you could recommend one book or one podcast to someone listening, what would it be?
Obviously, this podcast is fabulous.
What a great answer.
I'm assuming they'll need another one. Impact Theory. By
Tom?
Yes, I am huge. I don't think he can do any wrong, can he, in terms of content?
He's amazing. Even the way him and his wife complement each other.
Yeah.
They're both fantastic in content.
Yeah, they're great. What I love about pretty much his philosophy on life is he's obviously a commercial man that has had huge success, which I love. And as a result, he has a caliber of people that he attracts in his podcast studio that are of just this, league of their own type thing. But I also love his hunger for knowledge and education in the health and fitness space. Because I do really believe if you speak to a lot of high performers, they'll be hugely in touch with their nutrition and also training as well.
So true.
I think the multifaceted human in terms of covering mindset, health, your fitness, your overall wellness, I think that is usually not unique to just one high performer. I think it's an across the board thing.
It's just like those important pillars of life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Question number 2. The one skill that you recommend mastering that significantly improved your life?
Copywriting. I know that's really bizarre to say, but if you can tell your story through your words and captivate through writing, I think you can sell anything underwater. So
you know what? This is the part where I draw out the rapid fire because I want to comment on that. My journal entry this morning was language is everything. I've noticed lately, like I listen to a lot of podcasts and I watch a lot of stuff, and I notice sometimes there's people who are very specific on their use of language and words and very specific on the context of what that word means to them. Example, Mo Gordon the other day spoke about, he said, I don't like to call it a life journey, I like to call it a life quest. The quest is open, a journey has a final destination. And I remember sitting listening to that and thinking, is that maybe a little bit too picky on the use of language? But then I sat back and reflected and I thought, well, language is everything.
It does. Like if you shut your eyes and people fire words at you, they have connotations, they have imagery. If you're a creative brain, you will sit with that and paint a picture in your mind. And I almost think of words as like blinkers. Like you can turn particular words on and they can go left or right in that picture,
Definitely.
And I think it's the most powerful skill. And I did go through a bit of a identity crisis in my Equalution time as a marketer, thinking, can all I do is write? But no, like it's not just, it doesn't start and finish there. Like it is the most powerful thing that I think you can have as a skill set. And I might be biased, but I'd love to have numbers as my skill set, and in which case I might say like, maths and finance and understanding of money. But no, I really think copywriting is a powerful skill.
And I just think that if you get good at story, story is so powerful. The story you tell yourself, the story of yourself that you tell to others, like you said, it can really form your direction. So I love that answer.
Yeah.
Number 3, the one challenge that's required the most personal growth to overcome.
Leaving my business. It was, that was a whole discovery, relearning.
Yeah.
No ego. Had to kind of could have felt like a fall from grace at the time if I didn't have the mindset to know that it was the start of something new. But yeah, it was hard. It was really hard.
I love it. And if this is a trailer for you, you need to listen to the episode because of that. Number 4 is the one daily habit or ritual that if you could only pick one thing in your life outside of your work that you think sets you up for success, what would that be?
Exercise. Without a doubt, no hesitation.
Is there a specific style that works for you? Or?
No, I have this adamacy that each morning I just have to move my body or sweat at some point in the day, you know, like
I love it.
I love long distance running.
This is the part where I sign you up for a charity marathon in about a year's
honestly,
time.
I'll do it.
Come with us.
I'll do it. I did Movember. I ran a marathon from Movember, back in November, and that was honestly, I feel like when it's a charity event, you find something inside you that's very special. Love it.
Well, Fernie's laughing behind the camera because I've forced him to run too now. So
we're in it together.
Yeah. So it's
Team.
42 for CF. We raise money for Cystic Fibrosis Australia.
Yeah,
So
unreal. No,
I'll
I
have to
can't.
let you know next time.
Yeah, definitely. But no, without a doubt, exercise. Like I honestly think that it can completely change your mindset. I'm pretty good with diet. Obviously, I've come from an Equalution background, so it's an 80-20 approach for me. And I've become recently far more cleaner in my diet than I previously was. And I think that's also a bit of a growth thing too, and a bit of a pivot in my own personal life. Because I do think the way that you treat your body in both your habits and your eating and exercise and whatnot is a reflection of your self-love.
Definitely.
And so I think the better you are to yourself, the better you operate and perform.
For sure. Let me tell you, I got the 80-20 the wrong way around on the weekend, so I'm cleaning it up today. There was a salad before I drove up here, so I didn't go into Macca's. The last question for me, which is almost, it's my favourite question for me. This is so important, and I think this is your opportunity to really speak to the people that are watching or listening to this. If you could share one message with this audience and encourage them to act on it, to make it a part of who they are and what they believe, what would that be?
I don't want to be cliche in this, but I think it's just so important to wake up and love what you do. I think in any pursuit, you know, whether that be to a goal that is outside of work, or whether it be a career goal, or whether you're building a business or training for a marathon, no matter what it is, I think that there's going to be tough parts of anything that's worth having won't often come easy. But I just think if you're hating the process more than you're hating the potential of achieving the goal, then you're probably on the wrong path, and like, just don't be afraid to jump off it. You know, as good as it may look on paper, or as good as it might seem in theory, if something in you doesn't feel right, then you've got to act on it. And I think that anyone who stays in something and then complains that they don't like it, I think they really only have themselves to blame. I think doing something without passion is like driving a car without vision. Like, I just think you're going,
I love that.
you had no way, you know, it's just
I love that.
It's a slippery slope. There's a saying that I have, and I've said it previously, but you can win a rat race, but you'll always be a rat. And I think that couldn't be more true for, you know, being on a path and pursuing something that you just feel emptiness. And I think there's nothing better than just loving what you're doing. And if you've had that feeling before, you would know that if you don't have that, you've got to try and find it again.
I know it too well. I feel it. And thank you so much for this.
Thank you for having me.
Look, sitting down with you, it's no surprise to me now, like getting to know you over this last hour and a bit. There's no surprise to me why you're successful. I think
you got me at a very zen, reflective time. I mean, I've just like come out of turmoil and rebuilt my entire life. So it's probably a good time, and I probably seem like Yoda now in comparison to
we all have
what
phases,
what I was maybe 12 months ago, just up in arms. But yeah, look, I think I'll always be a business person. That's who I am. And now what I do, you know.
Yeah.
But ultimately now I'm a person that lives my life, and I'm really happy for that.
Well, not that you need to hear it from me, but I think you should be really proud of your journey. I'm really excited for this next step for you. And it's just been an absolute pleasure to have you here on the show. I'm going to make sure that every one of your social tags, all of the links to your business are all in the show description. So for anyone listening or watching, make sure you head across, give that the love it deserves, and be sure to hit that follow or subscribe button. Leave a rating and review, 5-star preferably. But super grateful for anyone who tuned in. Means the world to me. So thank you so much,
Thank you
Jade.
for having me.
My pleasure.